Hello and welcome to Joanne's Kitchen. How is everybody doing this Sunday morning? Well, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm getting ready to show y'all how I do my ribs, okay? And these are my saucy ribs, and this is the way that I do them. So if you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. Thank you all for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe to Joanne's Kitchen. I'll appreciate it. So this is what you will need. I had some they're not baby back ribs, just a regular pork rib, and I seasoned them. Okay, well, I cleaned them first. So the solution that I cleaned them in, you will need to get, and remember when you're cleaning your ribs, you want to get the membranes from off the back of them and stuff. So I did that, and then I just sliced them individually. So you will need a bowl, and then you're gonna take some, you will need some salt, you will need baking soda, and you'll need apple cider vinegar. Fill it up with some water and set your ribs, stir it up, stir the mixture up, sit your ribs in there and let it sit for about 2 hours. That mixture again is salt, baking powder, baking soda. Salt, baking soda, apple cider vinegar, and water. Just fill the bowl up, mix the mixture, put your ribs in, and let them sit for 2 hours. Then clean them. Okay, and then once you clean them, you want to pat them off dry, and you want to get your bowl, because you're going to need these seasonings in a bowl, okay? And you're going to mix them very well. Make sure everything is good and combined. So you will need some brown sugar, which I don't have sitting up here because these ribs are already have been seasoned. Because I wasn't. So these ribs have already been seasoned. And if you didn't hear that again, because my video, hello and welcome to Joanne's Kitchen. How's everybody doing out there? If you happen to be watching this channel or strolling down through YouTube and you land on it, take the time to subscribe. I appreciate it. And to my recent subscribers, I thank you. Okay, today's recipe is going to be how I make my barbecue ribs. Okay, so I take my ribs, and I wasn't going to do this recipe, but at the last minute I changed my mind. So I had already cleaned them. Okay, so I'm going to go through that process with you. So you're going to take your ribs out the pack. You're going to rinse them off, and you're going to take the membranes off on the back side of the ribs. Okay, once you've done that and you rinse them off, you need to cut them into individual pieces, okay? Cut them into individual pieces. Now I'm using pork ribs, pork spare ribs today. That's what we're having. So after you cut them into individual pieces, you're going to take a bowl and you're going to put some salt in it. We're not using kosher salt for this mixture, okay? You're going to use regular table salt, okay? So you're going to need to put some salt in the bowl. You're going to need to do some baking soda, followed by some apple cider vinegar. Mix it together. Add some water to it, then mix it together. Okay, once you mix it together, you're going to put your ribs in it, and you're going to let your ribs soak in that solution for about an hour, 2 hours, okay? I let mine do it for 2 hours. They're going to come out so pretty and white, but you're going to do it for 2 hours, and they're going to be clean. Then you rinse them off again. You pat them dry. After you pat them dry, you get your bowl. If you're not cooking these until the next day, you can let them season in the refrigerator overnight. But if you're going to cook them right then, let the season go through for about an hour, 30 minutes at the most, if you have the time, before you start preparing them, okay? So with the following seasons you're going to need. Now, you only need 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. You only need 6 fresh garlic cloves, okay? But you know I love garlic, so I'm doing 8 fresh garlic cloves, okay? So we're gonna put these garlic cloves in there. You're gonna need some black pepper. You're gonna need onion powder. You're gonna need garlic. You're gonna need soul food seasoning, cumin, paprika, kosher salt, chili powder. Okay, squash the the garlic, okay? You're not going to use the garlic just to season them, okay? This right here is what you're going to use to season them with. All these seasons, the kosher salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, soul food seasoning, cumin, paprika, and chili powder. And you're going to need some brown sugar, okay? So you mix all those together, put them on your ribs, massage it in there, pat it on there. You want that seasoning to go deep into them ribs. So make sure that you're absolutely massaging your seasoning through your meat. Okay, so once you did that, like I said, wrap it up in aluminum foil, place it in the fridge for about an hour. If you're not cooking that day, it's good for overnight. Then get up the next morning and you're going to do this recipe. So I have the same seasonings here: the kosher salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, soul food seasoning, cumin, paprika, and chili powder. You're going to need 1 red onion. Then you're going to need only 6 fresh garlic cloves, but I'm using 8, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 fresh garlic cloves because I love the garlic. So you're going to need 6 fresh garlic cloves. So once you season your ribs, they should look something like this right here. This is the seasoned ribs that I seasoned last night, okay? And I let them stay in the refrigerator all night, okay? So I have my ribs here. Then you're going to need to take a pot and place on the stove. You're going to fill it up with some water. Oh, one more thing you're going to need. You're going to need a stick of butter for this also. So we're going to crowbar our ribs. This is the way I do my ribs. So I have my pot here, and I'm just going to fill it up with some water. Then I'm going to place my ribs in. Now my ribs is already seasoned, but I'm going to season my water too, okay? So I'm going to season my water, then I'm going to stick my ribs back in, okay? So everything's going to be, they're not going to be salty, trust me. It's not going to be salty. It's going to be good. So we're going to parboil them on low for 2 hours. Then I'm going to come back to you, and we're going to put the barbecue sauce on them. We're going to bake them in the oven. And then we're going to bake them in the oven for about 30 minutes with the barbecue sauce, with me turning them twice, right? Then I'm going to take them out, put them in a broiler, and let them go in the broiler for about 5 minutes. So now I'm just filling my pot up with water. And this is my pot that I'm filling with water. Okay, I think that's enough water right there. So I'm going to place this pot back onto the stove. Let me cut my iron. I thought I had my iron. Okay, so let me set this up so y'all can see that I'm finna add these seasonings in. So the first thing that I'm going to add in is this stick of butter. Okay, I'm going to take my fresh garlic cloves and I'm going to smash each one of them so that the skin of them just comes right off. So that's 1 garlic clove. That's the second one. That's the third one. That's the fourth one. Fifth one. Okay, that's the 6th one. And this is all that I'm doing to the garlic clove right here. Let me show you. If you guys can see that garlic clove, I'm just smashing it. This is the last one. Just give it a smash. And it'd be so much easier to peel when you smash it. So that's the 7th one, okay? I have all of them smashed. Then you're just gonna take your red onion and put it over here. And cut it in half. Okay, so these already done been like washed and everything. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna take this little part out. Okay, and I'm gonna put all these pieces into the pot. So let me get it back up where y'all can see. And this red onion gives it such flavor. And we're gonna parboil it. I'm gonna turn the stove down on low. And we're gonna let this ride out for 2 hours. Okay, so that's our onion. Then we're going to come back and we're going to season it. So I'm using kosher salt. Okay. We got some black pepper. We got an onion powder. We got our garlic powder. Now, if you don't have soul food seasoning, you can use Larry's seasoning, okay? I'm not a Larry's fan, but you can use Larry's seasoning. So I'm using soul food seasoning. I'm using a little bit of cumin. Okay, I'm using a little bit of chili powder. Okay, we're going to do a couple dashes of hot sauce. And last but not least, we're using paprika. Okay, I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to give this a big stir. And our butter is still melting, okay? So once this comes to a ball, and this is what it looks like. So once it comes to a boil, what you're going to do is reduce the heat. We're going to stick our ribs in here. We're going to reduce the heat and let it cook down on low for 2 hours. You want those ribs tender. So we're going to put our meat in. Okay, so I'm gonna wait in here until it starts boiling. When this comes to a boil, I'm gonna reduce the heat. I'm gonna cover it up, and I'm gonna let it boil for 2 hours, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. We're gonna sauce it up, put it in the oven, and by the time you think it's almost done, you want to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. Okay, and we're gonna bake these until, let me see, about 30 minutes. We're not gonna do an hour because they're already done. I just wanted the barbecue sauce to have time to soak into the meat, and I don't want to turn my oven off to do that. I want it to bake for 30 minutes. Let them get a little color too also, okay, because they're gonna be like, you know how ribs look like when you parboil them, so they're gonna be that light color, but I want them to get a little crisp, and they're gonna get a little crisp in the broiler when we put them in there. But in the oven, I want that barbecue to soak into them, and I want them to get a little color to it, okay? So we're gonna do that for 30 minutes, but this is gonna sit and boil for 2 hours. So when it comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat to low, cover it up for 2 hours, okay? And then we'll be back in a few shakes and in 2 hours, and I'll show you what this looks like, okay? So let me turn my thing up so it can go ahead and do its thing. So we just going to wait for this to boil. So you guys don't have to wait with me, but I do ask you to come back because it's more to this recipe. So I'm gonna go ahead on and wait and let it boil, and then I'm gonna turn it down on low. After my 2 hour time limit, I'm gonna come back to you and show you the next step, okay? So stay tuned because there's more coming to this recipe. See you later. Hello. Welcome back. I'm moving on to the next step. See, our ribs, they are finally finished boiling. So what I'm gonna do now, this is what they look like after they get through boiling. So what I'm gonna do now is transfer them from my pot to this pan here, okay? I already have my oven preheated. It's already good and hot. So what we're going to do is just brush the sauce on these ribs and get these in the oven for about 30 minutes. Then after 30 minutes, I'm going to come back and we're going to move on to the final step. I'm going to pour the same water right back in here into these ribs. I'm going to use the same water, okay? Now I just cooked 1 slab of ribs today. So these 1 slab of ribs gonna do, and we're gonna have to make do with what we got. Okay, so I'm gonna pour a little bit of the water off of the from the pot onto the ribs, okay? Just a little bit for it to bake. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to cover them. So now what I'm going to do is just brush my sauce on my ribs, and I'm going to stick them in the oven. So about 15 minutes after them being in the oven, I'm going to take them and turn it on. No, I mean, I'm sorry. 15 minutes after them being in the oven, I'm going to turn them over and brush some more sauce on the other side, okay? And you can put it on there, on here, as heavy or as thin as you like. I'm putting mine on kind of heavy. 15 minutes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the other side. Then I'm going to flip them back over. About after 10 minutes, then I'm going to do the other side. And then I'm going to broil them. But we'll go through that. Alright, so here's what my ribs look like. Okay, so I'm going to take them and I'm going to place them in the oven for 30 minutes. 15 minutes prior to being into the oven, I'm going to take them out and brush the other side with sauce. Then 10 minutes after I'm being in the oven, I'm going to come back and brush the other side. And we'll be through. And we're going to move on to one more step and we'll be through with these ribs. So I'm going to put these in the oven for 30 minutes. I'll see y'all in 15. Alright? Okay, I took the ribs out of the oven. I'm gonna drain a little bit more of this water off. We don't need a whole lot, just done. Okay. So now I'm just gonna turn them over on the other side. I'm gonna try to flip them without them falling off the bone. So the other side can get good and saucy. Ooh. They hot. Just trying to flip them over. Jesus, I don't want to tear them. Ugh. It's always got to be one difficult. Okay, so once we flip them over, we're going to start putting our sauce on them. Then we're going to put them back into the oven. So I'm just coating each one of them pretty well. Then we're gonna let these stay in there for throughout the remainder of the time. And then we're gonna put them in the oven, put some more sauce on them and turn them back over. and I'm gonna put some more sauce on them, and then we're gonna put them in the broiler, and that'll be it. I know it's a lot, but trust me, they're gonna be so darn tender. They're gonna be good. So we're gonna come back, and you see I don't have that much water in them. You see that? We're gonna come back. It's not that much water in it. Hardly not none. So that's why we're not gonna keep them in the oven for about 5 or 10 minutes more, and then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show y'all. They're gonna go in the broiler. I'm gonna put more sauce on them, and that's gonna be it. They're gonna stay in the broiler about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm taking them out. Then we'll be done. My way of doing my saucy barbecue ribs. Okay, so we'll be back. There's more to this recipe. I'll be right back at you. Okay, I just took them out the oven. I got my broiler on, and I'm gonna recoat them with some more barbecue sauce, and we're gonna stick them in the broiler for about 10 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna turn these, I'm gonna flip these back over on the rightful side. Oh, come on. Can't get it to turn. Let me get another fork, y'all, to help me out. I'm not picking them up with my hand. They are hot. So, after you get them all good and slathered on here with this barbecue sauce, and this is bottled barbecue sauce, by the way. I just didn't feel like making no homemade. Okay, so now that they're all good and slathered up, I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them in the broiler just until they crispy up a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna leave them in the broiler for about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you everything plated up. All right, show you what this recipe looks like. I'll be back.